I've just been busily planning, not that I don't love working with you all on broadcasting to the nation every day, but I have been planning a Christmas, reunion in Queensland, right?
Yes.
So I was, a little bit upset to hear, things weren't going that well over the weekend. But great news is that in the last half hour, the Deputy Premier for Queensland had this to say.
No one's ever suggested that the border should be closed at Christmas, but what we've said is it should be open at the right time and that we don't yet have the information that tells us what that right time is. Let's focus on what we can do today and tomorrow and next week, and that's the best way to make sure that we are open by Christmas.
That's reassuring, because I don't know who it was who suggested over the weekend that Queensland might be closed at Christmas.
I don't think Queenslanders will want to let COVID in for Christmas if we don't have it, but New South Wales still does.
Oh, I wonder who said that. I wonder where we got that idea
It was
from.
his twin brother.
He's
now in the Nord corner.
Who works for the opposition.
Oh, maybe it was opposite day yesterday, and
Anyway,
that's why.
We're looking for some clarity on that issue, hopefully on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think we've got it this morning.
We definitely don't.
Welcome back. Well, the push to open state borders by Christmas is still causing tension, and plenty of it, with Queensland's Deputy Premier pushing back against Scott Morrison's promise to reunite Aussie families for the holidays. That was yesterday. Today he's kind of walked that back again and flip-flopped once more.
No one's ever suggested that the border should be closed at Christmas, but what we've said is it should be open at the right time and that we don't yet have the information that tells us what that right time is. Let's focus on what we can do today and tomorrow and next week, and that's the best way to make sure that we are open by Christmas.
Yeah, he was, of course, the one who did suggest that they'd be
for the
closed for
record.
Christmas. Yeah, for the record. Now, one legal expert is saying that keeping borders shut could be actually illegal. Let's get today's take on this with Nine Honey's Shelley Horton and Nine reporter Seb Costello. Lovely to see you both. According to this expert, anyone who's adversely impacted by border closures could take legal action against their state. Seb, people are getting pretty desperate, but can you imagine anyone actually doing this?
I actually can, Dickie. I think a lot of people have quietly suspected the more extreme rules we've seen might not hold up under scrutiny in courts. And we've already seen some people go forward. Last year in Victoria, cafe owner and Liberal Party member Michelle Loiello questioned the curfew that Melbourne was living under. And we found the government actually dropped the curfew before that case went to trial. So you are seeing challenges going on. The other area is religious services. It's hard to remember a time in Australia's history where believers have been told they can't go to church, can't go to mosque, can't go to synagogue. The Constitution, Section 116, is pretty clear on the right to freedom of worship in Australia. So that's another area where you might see challenges. I think people have been happy to go along with this for a while, but now that it's been almost 2 years, now that we've got a vaccine, I think you'll see more of these challenges if governments don't hurry up.
Yep.
Well, especially if the health advice suggests that it is safe for those borders to be open and for people to start living freely again. Shell, what do you make of the stance coming from the Queensland government at the moment? And keep in mind, I don't think anyone is suggesting that Queensland, throws the gates open tomorrow, but to not be able to commit to opening at 80% double vaccination,
As
or even
previously
beyond
agreed.
that at the moment, it's starting to feel a bit callously cruel.
It absolutely is. And I think that what we need to remember is that it's ruled by fear. Queenslanders are afraid of getting COVID, and so that's why Palaszczuk is getting away with it. What we need to do is rule with facts and rule by the law. So I think if we get some of the big companies to band together and actually sue, because it says under the Constitution, a disproportionate burden on trade is illegal. So I think that there are many big Queensland companies that could come together and really make sure that Palaszczuk is making decisions based on health facts and on legal facts, not on politics and not on emotion.
All right, boy, I'm sure there'd be a few legal eagles, some lawyers who'd love to mount a class action on that.